Welcome, I'm Steve Adubato, and it is our honor to talk to a real leader in the field of education, Dominique Lee, founder and CEO of Brick Education Network. He's the 2015 winner of the Russ Berrie Making a Difference Award. Good to see you, my friend, Dominique.
Good to see you also.
So, you know, I interviewed you back in 2015 at the Russ Berrie Making a Difference Awards. But for those who haven't seen that interview, make it clear what the Brick Education Network is and why it matters now more than ever.
No problem. We are a charter management organization that manages charters here currently in Newark, New Jersey, the South Bronx in New York, and soon to be Buffalo, New York. We are a holistic education model that basically couples a strong academic program along with character education and an ecosystem of family supports to ensure that children are successful.
So let me try this. I'm not sure everyone knows what a charter school is. Define it. I know it well because my dad founded the Robert Treat Charter School in Newark, so I grew up around charter schools. But for those who don't know, it's a public school, but a certain kind of public school.
Yes, it is a public school that is sanctioned by the state, and it's basically providing an alternative model to support children in communities. So for example, like ours, our school is coupled with a lot of family support, low-income housing support, food support, all the things that need to happen. So each model is different. So it's just basically a school that's sanctioned by the state to do something differently.
You know, we're taping toward the end of 2020, be seen later. Describe the impact of COVID-19 on the work of you and your colleagues and the impact on the students that you're so dedicated to helping and their families.
Yeah, so I'll start with our staff. Our staff have been remarkable during this period of time. They have really changed the way that they have taught or teach, where you say. It's amazing how they, over a flip of a dime, they had to basically switch their entire model overnight. So the work efforts of our teachers, our building leaders, our custodians, everyone, been very happy to see and very proud of what they have done. Our resilient families have also kind of weathered all that has come with COVID-19. They are, logging on, they're reaching out, they're creating focus groups with each other and support networks. But there's still this little piece of me in the back of my head that is very worried about what the future lies for many of the families that we serve. The financial cliff that's going to come down the pipeline, these mountains of debts that are basically accumulating because, not able to afford rent or reducing of hours. So all the issues that will come with COVID afterwards, that's what's keeping me up right now. But overall, I think they have done a remarkable job.
When you won were you one of the winners of the 2015 Russ Berrie Making a Difference Award? I remember meeting you and the impact you had on so many others at that annual event that we have every year that we're looking forward to being together in person, particularly as we approach the 25th anniversary. This is part of a series called 25 for 25, 25 winners of the Russ Berrie Making a Difference Awards that we're featuring. There are hundreds, literally, I think there are about 350, if not more, winners over the years, last 25 years, last quarter century. But I remember the impact you had on others. And what I'm curious about is, what was it like for you to be around those other unsung heroes?
Well, I will say that it was very humbling and also kind of warm to be around others who are also devoting their lives to changing, and working with populations that are on the margins of our society. Leadership is lonely, and especially nonprofit leadership is lonely at that.
That's right.
So being amongst a crowd of individuals that have devoted their entire lives to working with the margins of our society, it was very humbling and actually, warm to be around.
You use the expression cradle to career. What does that mean?
So we support basically once a mother or, someone is pregnant in our community, we want them into our pipeline. So we immediately want them to call us. They are part of our baby college. They're part of our home visiting programs with all of our partnerships, with our health center. And we want them to be ready to be kindergarten. Once they're in kindergarten, we want them to be successful in our academic pipeline all the way up to 12th grade. Once they are at 12th grade, go to college, through college, into career. So we want to follow you from the day that you are conceived to the point that you are in your career.
Dominique, I asked you this, then I'll ask you again. Where does your passion come from to do this kind of work?
Well, one is my faith, and two, I come from many of the similar backgrounds for the people that we serve. You know, my parents had me when they were 15. I was able to experience two different worlds, a world where I'm the first generation to go to college by my mom, and I'm third generation to go to college on my father's side. Two stark different realities between wealth. Mom worked hourly jobs, barely making, you know, the bare minimum on and off of public assistance. At the same time, my dad was a corporate executive. So I was able to see both worlds, feel both worlds, experience both worlds, and still they're experiencing both worlds. So I know the difference that education makes. And then on top of that, being an African American, where education is part of our march towards equity, it is a key.
That's right.
If we don't get education right, then all the other parts of this march won't be successful.
You know, this is part of our 25 for 25 series, but it's also, I'm going to ask our team to put up our graphic for our ongoing series simply called Confronting Racism in all of its forms, institutional racism, social justice that you're talking about. How is the work you're doing with your colleagues, quote, confronting racism?
Yeah, so there's two ways I would say. The first way that we're confronting is ensuring that the children that we serve that are primarily Black and brown have a chance of living out their dreams by having the academic curriculum or academic resume that will allow for them to go and live out those dreams. That's the first thing. I think the second thing is one of our two pillars of our organization is having a strong sense of identity.
Yep.
What does it mean to be Black? What does it mean to be brown? What does it mean to be female or male? And how, when you enter into a world that currently is not set up for you, how do you interact with that, but still not let it knock you down, but continue to push towards the dreams that you set for yourself? So I would say those are the two ways that we are confronting racism. One, ensuring that we have a strong academic program, and two, allowing for our children to explore and really form their identity.
Dominique, before I let you go, you optimistic? And if so, why?
I am optimistic for a lot of reasons. I think the first reason is that while there's a lot of social unrest that's happening, there's a multitude of conversations that are taking place across the United States. I've seen leaders actually say structural racism. I've seen funders actually say we have to change the way that we're doing things. Our education system is actually acknowledging the historic injustices that Black and brown children have been faced with. So I am happy with the conversations that we have, and long but short, it's just the future generations. Our children are growing up in different environments where they can continue to push. So the joy that I see in them is what gives me hope.
The other reason for optimism is leaders like you and organizations like Brick Education Network. Dominique Lee, I want to thank you so much for joining us again. I wish you and your colleagues all the best.
Thank you so much.
I'm Steve Adubato. We'll be right back.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by the Russell Berrie Foundation, Holy Name Medical Center, Rutgers University, Newark, the North Ward Center, the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey, the Turrell Fund, supporting Reimagine Childcare, Investors Bank, United Airlines, and by Fedway Associates, Inc. Promotional support provided by ROINJ and by the New Jersey Business and Industry Association.
Data shows that many patients have avoided seeking critical health care in the wake of COVID-19 for fear of contracting the virus. Delaying medical care can have serious consequences, so you should never second guess or ignore your symptoms. At Holy Name Medical Center, we have measures in place to prevent infectious disease from spreading. We're clean, we're open, and we're safe for all your healthcare needs.